Good morning. My name is Santee, and I want to bring you an episode of what I'm calling Coffee and Conversation. So, what I want to talk about in this short conversation that I want to share with you. As I was driving along this morning, I noticed God placed this thing deep into my spirit. And the thing that He was placing into my spirit, of course, goes to me first. But I wanted to share it with all of my single ladies. Yeah, all the single ladies. Right, all the single ladies. So, the thing that I felt that God was impressing upon my spirit on this morning was about discernment versus desperation. See, sometimes when we are preparing ourselves for a mate, or wanting a mate, or desiring a mate, we fail to use discernment because we are so desperate. And what I want to say to my single ladies and to all of my friends, listen, you must use discernment because discernment is that thing where God gives you an inner knowing that gives you the ability to judge whether someone's good or bad or right or wrong. And a lot of times we are so impressed with the young man or the gentleman caller that we're desperate. We want his attention. We want him to talk to us. We want him in our lives, that we don't discern who he is and how he may throw us off the track of our purpose in that very thing that God has for us. And our purpose of what it is that God wants us to do is the main thing. And we have to keep the main thing the main thing. Therefore, ladies, discernment over desperation. Don't ever be so desperate that you allow someone to throw you off of track and off of purpose. Second thing dropped into my spirit about vulnerability versus value. See, sometimes we want people to pay us attention, and the first guy that comes along and tells you that your perfume is sweet, you become vulnerable. And vulnerable is just a setup of putting yourself in harm's way, either physically or emotionally, with someone. But when you know your value, when you know what God says about you, how you're special, how you're important, how you're beautiful, how you're fearfully and wonderfully made, you totally ignore those other things. Because when you know who you are, you understand your value, it lowers your vulnerability. And so you must know your value over your vulnerableness. So, ladies, that's my little coffee and conversation with you today. Stay tuned. I'll have more. Have a good one.